Avengers, assemble. Welcome back to Sanders Presents. I'm Greg, and if you're enjoying the content we're producing, please consider following that link in the description below and assemble with us on Patreon by becoming an Avenger today. We have two tiers available on that Patreon, a $3 tier and a $5 tier. At that $5 tier, you become an Avenger Premium member, and as a founding Avenger, your name is added to our Avenger Memorial Hall of Fame. And I want to thank everyone who is supporting us as an Avenger Premium member. Your name appears in the credits of every video spotlighted, and I'm so thankful and so blessed by this community. Thank all of you who is an Avenger and supporting us on Patreon and for making this content possible. So let's get right into it. We've slowly unraveled the package of our roadmap predictions. So we did a Marvel's Avengers 2022 roadmap predictions, and we laid it all out there, and I highly recommend you check out that video and join us over there for our full predictions. And after the predictions, we then dived into every hero we put on there. Now it's time to look at She-Hulk. She-Hulk is the last character that we predicted as being a part of the Marvel's Avengers 2022 lineup. She's the last hero we're talking about, but she's the first that we expect just based on our data mining here at Sanders Presents. So what is She-Hulk in 2022? What will she bring to it? Obviously, she's going to be I think it's fair to say she's going to be Hulk level strong. She's going to be super strong. That goes without saying. She's going to be green. That goes without saying. The other thing is, or at least what I hope, is that she's going to be more athletic. She's going to have more maneuverability. She's going to have more interesting traversal. She's going to have a more interesting way of getting around. Sometimes Hulk feels a little too sluggish. It's something that I hope is fixed over time. It's something that I hope that they start adjusting in 2022 with Hulk. But sometimes Hulk just feels a little too just sluggish. That's really the best phrase for it. And I'm looking forward to She-Hulk, not just because I love that character. I love her history in Marvel Comics. I love the Savage She-Hulk comic. I love and adore that character so much. She's one of my favorite Marvel heroes. So I absolutely intend for her to be a part of my main rotation, being a part of my main team. But beyond that, in terms of the Hulk comparisons, I think, again, there's the ones that we can all expect. Whether she's lifting rocks from the ground, tearing up the ground, what have you, we can kind of expect all of that. And because, again, those are all reasonable assumptions because she's a part of the Hulk family, if you will. In terms of skins, I hope to see a gray She-Hulk skin. I hope to see a lawyer outfit for She-Hulk. I hope to see her classic purple one piece. I hope to see her in her tattered clothing, which got a Marvel Legends action figure. I actually got that as a gift, and thank you so much. It was on our Amazon wish list, and again, somebody purchased it for us. Thank you so much, because that's really cool to have. But again, those kind of outfits and cosmetics I would hope to see in the game as unlockables. Gray She-Hulk as well. Not Red She-Hulk, because Red She-Hulk is a different person. I digress, but in terms of Jennifer, again, green She-Hulk, gray She-Hulk, various outfits that go with that, her and her suit, very professional looking. I want to see all those variables, with glasses, without glasses, all those different things. I want to see all of that in terms of cosmetics, and hopefully, some of the ones that I really, really want, hopefully they're just unlockable, in through the course of natural gameplay or shipments. Then, of course, there is, we can look at how she would traverse. I mean, again, I would expect more jumping. That just seems to make, she's not a flyer. She's not going to pull out a grappling hook like Batman. There's a reasonable expectation. She's probably going to traverse very similar to Hulk, which again, hopefully they lighten it up. Hopefully, again, like I said, just more acrobatic, more fluid, I guess you could say, is kind of like the best word that's coming to my mind right now. Again, I look forward to hearing your thoughts and phrasing. Maybe you have a really clever idea on how you would like to see She-Hulk traverse, and I look forward to sharing and speculating with that. But just, picking into my brain, that's just what I'm kind of looking at. Then in terms of enemies, I mean, I don't want to get too far off base in terms of speculating about enemies. If you've followed our data mines, you know that we found Red Hulk. So I feel like, now again, it doesn't necessarily have to go this way. I guess, they could throw in any of the other villains that we have found. But I feel like with She-Hulk, Red Hulk really does fit pretty perfectly in terms of, gamma monsters, gamma villains being introduced, so to speak. Because, we already have Abomination. I feel like with Red Hulk, he just fits She-Hulk's operation. Maybe they're too closely tied. Maybe Red Hulk's going to be a part of another hero's operation. So be it, whatever. I'm just trying to, again, what do we do here? We try to deduce logically. We look at the data mining. We try to use it as a roadmap. We want to deduce logically. We want to come to reasonable conclusions, and we want to set reasonable expectations. We don't want to look at all this and go, oh, everything's coming. Everything's coming with She-Hulk right at the start of the year. We're not doing that. But just in terms of the villains that make the most sense, it seems to be Red Hulk. Maybe I'm off base. Maybe they'll throw us for a loop. Maybe it'll be one of the other villains we found. And maybe Red Hulk will come with one of the other heroes that we've been talking about. That's fine, whatever. But just in terms of who aligns with what, I feel like She-Hulk lines up perfectly with that villain. I would also like to see a couple of other new villains. I'd like to see some kind of Gamma event that comes with She-Hulk's arrival, Gamma monsters. Maybe tease the leader for later down the line. You don't even have to show the leader, but even just tease the leader with a couple of Gamma monsters or a new Gamma monster enemy type, just something to add to the variety. Again, it doesn't even have to be a lot. Literally, throw in 2 Gamma monsters. One of one size and one of another. Just 2 Gamma monsters. That's it. Just to spruce it up, and that can pop in and out of the event. I would like to see that 2 or 3. Again, if you want to add more Crystal Dynamics, I'm cool with it. But I think 2, just something to differentiate it and to separate it, right? And again, tease the leader. Just in the background, tease the leader a little bit. Just let us know, like, hey, there's more out there. There's more coming. Keep up with it. Pay attention. Get excited. Stuff like that. You can do the same with Absorbing Man as well. Again, Zimnu. I'm always terrible at getting his name right out. But there's a ton of Hulk villains or She-Hulk villains that they can kind of intermingle and mix up that I would just like to see brought into it. And obviously the leader's the most iconic one. We already have Abomination, who is another iconic one due to his appearance in the films, but I just want to see more of that. I want to see more teasing. I want to see more groundwork laid. I want to see them kind of showing we've got more coming, right? And whether that's with Red Hulk and then teasing other villains, or Red Hulk with some other Gamma experiments gone wrong, just things I want to see. In terms of location, I want to build out New York. We know that that's where Jennifer is set up. I want to see New York built out. I want to see her headquarters. I want to see New York become alive. I want to see her in New York. I want to see citizens in New York. I want to see New York coming alive as we get further and further away from A-Day and as we get further and further away from the grip of AIM. I want to see more of that. I want to see a thriving community. New York is a character in the comics. I want that reflected in the game. And again, this also ties into, I don't know when patrols are coming. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I don't know when patrols are coming. There is no timestamp in data mining. There is no, I always try to point this out, but there isn't like there isn't a letter in data mining that says, hey, we're putting this out on this day. There's no way to know definitively the day and date that something is coming. You know what I'm saying? But if patrols were to launch with She-Hulk, I would want a New York patrol. I feel, again, tie in patrol locations with the heroes as they're launching, and give us New York. Give us a New York to patrol as soon as possible. Now, again, maybe you don't consider New York as intrinsically tied to the Marvel Universe as I do, but when I was everything happened in New York when I was growing up. Like New York, not even just in the real world in terms of a dream place to be, but like New York is a center point of action in the Marvel Universe. And I want to see that reflected in the game. I want to be able to just drop in and patrol New York with friends. I want crazy stuff to be going on because it's New York. I want to see that. And maybe you feel the same way. I'm interested to hearing your thoughts as well in terms of reasonable patrol zones with She-Hulk, or levels or other ideas of variety that you could offer there. I really do look forward to hearing your thoughts on that. As I said at the top of the video, to my Avengers, thank you so much for your support and for making this content possible. If you're able, please consider assembling with us on our Patreon by becoming an Avenger today. And to everyone, thank you for being a part of this conversation. I really do appreciate it. Please like this video if you haven't, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and share our content across social media. It helps immensely with YouTube's analytics and algorithms. Above all else, and most importantly, stay safe, take care of others, and have a marvelous day. Bye, everyone.